came up with a couple of things, but power program, obviously. So productivity and organisation with empowerment and responsibility. So it encompasses the company itself, the productivity side of it, and also the team with the empowerment excuse me, and the organisation for responsibilities. So we also came up with empowered for success, so it sort of incorporates all. So the background of us is, so we started in 1995 as a result of power company restructuring. So over the years we've grown so that we're now in Southland, Otago and Central, excuse me. And then in 2007 we opened the NES Central branch. So we started off small, so we know what it's like to be able to manage ourselves and have the individuals as the system. But then when you get larger, as Quentin was saying before, it becomes more than, it becomes difficult to handle. So that's one of the reasons why process is so important for us now. So over the years we've diversified, and it becomes even more difficult the more diverse you become, because you're relying on individuals that have got skills and knowledge, and then somebody else can't go and do that same job because they've got the same skills and knowledge. So the process becomes difficult handling them as well. So our vision: to expand and provide ever-increasing diversity of electrical solutions to satisfy the needs of our clients with integrity, competitive value and simplicity. Because the customer wants simplicity, they want the job completed. They want integrity because they want to know that we're going to keep our word, and obviously they want value. So the reasons for change. Now I came along to this presentation last year and sat down and saw the presentations and thought, we really need this. Because we've been in business so long, the accumulation of equipment and that just made it, not impossible, but it made it difficult to work within our environment and the processes we needed to put in place. So improve relationships, improve communication, greater workplace organisation, streamlined processes, tidy, they're all really necessary. Obviously that's me, and this is the pillar heads for our company. So we have a few staff, and this is our family. Now the process map. We struggle with this process map quite a lot because we've got so many different streams of workflow. So it's sort of, yeah, there's different that feeds into it, there's different outcomes, and we've come up with this. So we've got our stops, which are the ones in red. So we still haven't really got this flowing properly yet, but it's certainly a work in progress as far as we've got to get the processes working around the flow. So our journey, now, fair to say Clinton was a bit shocked when he came and saw us the first time. He kept referring to us throughout the course. No. So this is sort of where we started from. It's, as you can see, years of putting stuff in the, oh, we'll need that one day, same sort of thing. And it just got more and more. So just some of our, now we did have for a period of about 4.5 years some engineers. We had 4 engineers, so we had engineering equipment, welders, cutters, all that sort of stuff. We lost that contract, but we didn't really want to get rid of it because we might get it again. But that's 4 or 5 years ago now. So yeah, so we put a wall up between us and one of our tenants, and then we decided, well, we didn't need all our space, so we put another wall up, and we've got another tenant coming in. That was in conjunction. It's sort of initiated before the course, but it's been running in parallel. So just add a few doors, and so you can see from here our to the left is where the engineering area was. So we've walked that off, and we've got our pilot area, which is the tool area, and we've still got quite a bit of space. So we've got our inwards outwards area. You can see the start of our boards there. So we've got our tools lined up along the front, but it's still a work in progress. We haven't got it finalised yet by any means. It's taken a lot of time because we've had to shift so much stuff around. As you can see, it's quite a major sort of change, not just in shifting stuff, it's shifting in small items, it's shifting walls and all sorts. So yeah, don't look too closely.
Very good. Beautiful.
But there's just different, now it's given us opportunities to make some major changes, like for instance the workbenches. Instead of having them fixed and solid, this one's on casters so it can be actually moved around. And here's our boards that are in the workshop, so everyone comes past them every morning, everyone can see them easily, and they're right there. So changes to be made to the building, making time obviously, and where to start, because it's still got a long way to go. Immediate benefits, staff have been, that's one of the really good things, because the people suggest things or complain about something, or a customer complains, it goes to a person, they think about it, sometimes they make knee-jerk decisions and, oh, make a change here, whereas now we're going to be putting things in process in so that the changes can be managed properly, and the big thing is the staff can see that. So we're accepting the challenge and keeping the process going. There's no way we're going to give up now. We've got a long way to go, but we're certainly happy to get on that treadmill and push it for all we can get out of it.
Yeah, Gavin is correct in that there was a bit of friendly cajoling as they came on this journey, and he is quite right that the first time I walked through the factory, I did lose that will to live. But anyway, no. That's a bit hard. But guys, you've taken it well, and I applaud you for that. What we have to remember, guys, is that let's talk about the physical environment, not just the process. You know, we speak about process, the way we do the work, but I really just want to talk about the environment in which we work. You know, one of the strongest human conditions is our ability to adapt. The human condition can adapt to almost any environment. It's part of our core ability to survive on this earth. And sadly, that works against us when it comes to our environments. NES, when I walked in, yep, and as I said, I did lose that will for an hour or two. But what had happened there is accumulations. Over decades and decades, being in an engineering environment, we have any amount of ways or methods to bring things in. We bring pieces of things in, we bring parts of things in, and every person brings something in. And then of course we all know engineers are born hoarders. I might need it one day. Yep, the bucket with a hole in it, yep, may need an outdoor shower one day. I'll just keep it in case. And even some of the anecdotal stuff, which was quite funny. I remember when we did the first walk around, hope you don't get offended. I noticed a big orange compressor about 500 meters down the far end, and I took a photograph of it. And I think one of the workers came to Gavin and said, where's the orange compressor? You know, it's that kind of concept of we have huge amounts of space and we just accumulate and accumulate. And then where do we put stuff? Well, we put stuff where there's space. Or there's space down the far end over there, go put it down there. And then of course 29 other people spend their life looking for it. So the word I wrote down talking to you guys is space. One of the big problems we have, especially in New Zealand, space is cheap. Not so much in Auckland anymore. Space is cheap, and because space is cheap, we abuse it. Like anything that's cheap. If you go to a buffet that's cheap in America, you abuse it. Yep, we abuse things that are very, very cheap. We have endless space that costs relatively little. And I can say this having lived in Tokyo for 5 years. In Japan, they have an incredible appreciation of space because of its value. So the Japanese, from a young child, have this ability to control and manage and organize the space that they have. In Japan, it is a constant focus on the minimization of what I need to function. How little is my home, how little is my desk, how little is my workspace. But we've kind of adopted this other attitude in the West. How big can I go? How big, yeah, I see the ladies laughing at the back, it's like my wife. Our house is getting too small, Clinton. Is it shrinking? No. It's all your unused clothes filling up my cupboard. That's what it is. We have this ability to fill up our space, and then we look for more space. 2,100 square meters. Space. We don't put a value on that space. Not just the cost of the space, but the cost of the inefficiency that that space is creating. If you work in a small environment, you're walking less. You're searching less. You're waiting less. It's easier. Why do you think we all love going caravanning? It's got to be a good quality caravan. Because it's small. You've left all your crap behind. I'm allowed to say crap, by the way. It's not a swear word. They said that on TV this morning. We leave the crap behind. We only take what we need and we put what we need where we need it. We love it. But we don't live like that. And sadly at NES, like so many other companies in New Zealand, we fall into that same trap. Because space is cheap, we just get more and more of it. And because we got the space, we go to these fire sales meetings, buy it, I'll have some of that, and give me some of this. But we still don't understand the cost of it. The amount of time I'm spending looking through what I don't need to find the one thing that I do need. What I love about that presentation, guys, after decades, is it 30 years, 1995 you said, 20 years. For the first time, you have now taken control of that space. Instead of your environment controlling you, you are taking control of it. And I love the way, Gavin, you talked about starting. There is no way in 6 months you're going to completely put right 20 years of accumulation. It is a journey, and we can see from those photos that you're doing amazing things. But you know what I like the most? Tenant. You're tenanting out that space. You're creating value from the space that you don't need. But that's only half the story. The other half of the story is you're not going to be wasting your time walking long distances and looking through the rubbish. You've created a double whammy. You're going to actually create value from subletting space, and you're going to spend less time looking for what you need to do the work. So when we do 5S, we truly learn to manage our working environments. And we have to fundamentally change that mindset that we are born with in our Western world. How much space do I have? We should rather be saying, how small can my space be? Whenever I threaten to move into a small house with my wife, she nearly does, but she'll be happier. She won't be cleaning 5 hours a day. My boys won't have 5 rooms to tip their Lego in. They'll have 1/2 room to tip their Lego into. But it seems in New Zealand, when we talk about small housing, people want to hit the streets and riot. Our birthright is to have an 18 and 200 square meter home on a 1/4 acre section. Where does this come from? How you live at home is up to you guys, but what I teach these businesses is we need to rethink our utilization of space, because it is sucking the time, energy, and resources out of our business. Awesome, guys. What is happening at NES? It is involving significant infrastructure change, which I remind you is not lean. Lean is not about infrastructure, no. But sadly, to create that efficient organization through lean, they had to do some significant infrastructure changes. So their project is actually a lot bigger than the others. Big physical projects, moving walls, building this, creating that. But I say it again, the benefits are going to be massive for you guys, massive. And remember one final point. Nobody wants to work in a scrapyard, guys. Nobody. We don't take our kids camping in scrapyards. We don't say, come on kids, we're going camping in Joe's scrapyard. Yeah, we don't. It's not pleasant. It's not energizing. It's not safe. So one of the greatest benefits we get from taking control of our environment is we increase the morale and the engagement, the safety of our workers. And isn't that something that Steve spoke about this morning? Retention. I did joke when I started this little piece talking about the will to live. When I walk around the factories, I see people, not your factory, others, where people have, in fact, lost the will to live. I see this, guys. If we want energized staff, do not put them in environments that suck the very life out of them. Beautiful. And that is where 5S, one of the tools we learn, is so transformational. And once again, looking at you guys, I did cajole you, I did joke all the way through, but I can say, well done. in terms of the transformation, the massive physical change, and the way you've done it, still smiling and still not hating me. You probably do, you're just putting a smile on here. Seriously, honestly, absolute brilliant. It is going to be a long journey for you guys. Your 5S journey is at least another year to 18 months, but I can't wait to visit you guys in a year, 2 years' time and see what you've achieved. Well done, guys.